If you're praying for peace and freedom from anxiety, but you're running on 3 cups of coffee, 5 hours of sleep, and constant people pleasing, God has not left you and He's not ignoring you. He is waiting for you to honor the vessel that He's given you. Think about that. If you stick to the end of this video, you might just understand exactly why God doesn't take your anxiety away immediately and some things that you can do to actually reframe it to work for you in your life. So you've prayed for peace, you've prayed for hope, for God to take the anxiety away, for Him to free you from these anxious shackles. I have been there before. I used to get panic attacks every single day in my life, sometimes multiple times a day for years. And it wasn't until I did a couple of different things that I was actually able to heal my anxiety. So the question for you might not be for God to ask God, why don't you take my anxiety away? But maybe the question for God is, what is it you're trying to show me through this, God? What is this anxiety saying? Let me explain. God doesn't waste pain. He doesn't waste any ounce of pain that you walk through, any ounce of doubt, fear, anxiety, depression that you walk through. And sometimes anxiety is not always the enemy. I think we like to put a label really fast on bad things that take place in our life and say, oh my gosh, it's the devil, or it's just the worldly thing, or this is because of my sin. Not always. We don't always have to make things to be black and white like that. Sometimes anxiety is actually a messenger for you. It's your body alarming you and telling you, hey, something is not right here. Your life, your thoughts, your habits, who you're surrounded by, your anxiety is trying to talk to you and you've been ignoring it for far too long. Anxiety is often the space between what God is calling you to do and what you keep trying to control. It's not punishment, it's actually an invitation. If you start seeing your anxiety as a way to invite God in to all of the spaces in your life that you feel like you still want to control, but you can't let go of, this is a perfect moment to do that. So I'm a functional practitioner. I basically study how the body, the mind, and the spirit are all connected. And what I've seen is this. No matter how much you pray for healing, no matter how much you pray away your mental health, your anxiety, likely you're going to have to take the steps to work with God to use the tools that you have on earth here to help heal that. Now, I'm not saying God can't do miracles. Obviously, He can. He healed my Lyme disease, but the way that I was able to get my Lyme disease healed, and it wasn't from sitting in a room, locking myself in there and saying, just take it away from me. Because I did that for 12 years and I tried multiple modalities and doctors and it just wasn't happening. But God sent me the message. He sent me the person that I needed to connect to realize that there was a functional hospital in Mexico that could heal my Lyme disease. And I went there and I got healed. And so I think a lot of times we just think God's going to put something in our lap or like immediately like snap of a finger take something away, such as anxiety. But I really feel like He's such a loving Father in the sense that He wants you to understand the lessons out of it. He wants you to see the fruit from the suffering. And He never leaves you, He never forsakes you, but you have this anxiety for a reason, and it's time to stop pointing fingers and start looking inward. And I think that a few of these things that I'm going to tell you are actually really going to help. So here's the thing, you can't heal, whether it's spiritually, physically, mentally, by being biologically out of balance. Maybe God hasn't removed the anxiety because He's teaching you to partner with Him in healing. Not just to expect a miracle for you, but to transform this thing within you, to use it, to help other people, to find the tools to put you on the path to then becoming the best version of you possible. Anxiety is rooted in control. When we think about where anxiety comes from, it's basically not knowing the outcome, right? It's not having control over our finances or our life or our partner's actions or whatever it may be. So the beautiful part, instead of saying, God, why haven't you fixed this? Maybe because He's whispering back, I'm trying to fix you. So let's start looking at your life, auditing your life. Fixing your anxiety requires you to let go of timelines, let go of perfectionism, let go of the idea of where you thought you were supposed to be at XYZ age. let it all go, because the truth is, in the Bible it says 1,000 days is like 1 hour to God, and 1 hour is like 1,000 days. Basically, he doesn't have a timeline, and his timeline is not like our human timeline. He knows the before, the now, the after, the future, and everything in between. And that's kind of revitalizing to understand that we don't have control. And we never will have control. Control is just like a false sense of reality when we think that we have control of our life. And I think a lot of times we can live in danger because we feel like we don't need God. So maybe He's taking your anxiety and allowing you to use that to rely more on Him. So again, just audit your life. See, maybe your anxiety is telling you that, you that person that you get anxious around, you have a panic attack around, maybe they're not the best person to have in your life. Maybe the food that you're eating is not the best food. Maybe you really need to dig deep and see how to get yourself out of a situation that's causing you pain. Anxiety is not the enemy. The enemy is thinking that the anxiety is the enemy, if that makes sense. So, if you're in that space, praying and waiting and wondering, know this: God's not late. He's holding you. He's trying to help you. He's trying to fix you. He's trying to be there with you in it. He wants to be in there with it. He wants to be in there in it with you. The anxiety doesn't leave because it's actually guiding you to change what's breaking you. And I know it's easier to say than it is to actually do, but it wasn't until I was able to heal my Lyme disease, heal my gut, really rewire my mind into thinking, I'm okay, I'm safe, we're good, we're okay, that I didn't have panic attacks anymore. If this hit home, make sure to subscribe, and then I have one-on-one calls. I'll drop a link below if you want to set up a one-on-one free discovery call to see if you want to run functional lab tests to get to the root of your anxiety. But overall, just know that you are worthy, and I think we're so quick to blame God when really we have the full power of making that one decision that's going to change our life. Until next time.